The slap echoed through the vaulted nave of St. Mark's Episcopal Church like a thunderclap in a Seattle rainstorm, freezing the organ's swell midnote and turning 200 faces to stone. Lila's cheek bloomed red under the chandelier's unforgiving glow, her veil trembling as tears carved silent paths through her mascara, but it was Ethan's snarl, "You ungrateful little bitch," that shattered the illusion of holy union forever. In that suspended heartbeat, Kai rose from the third pew, his brother's shadow no longer, voice cutting the silence like a blade. "Enough. This ends now." The air in the church hung heavy with the scent of lilies and betrayal, the kind that seeped into your bones like the perpetual drizzle outside. Seattle's gray skies pressed against the stained glass windows, casting fractured rainbows across the polished oak pews where guests shifted uneasily, whispers bubbling like distant traffic on I-5. Kai's heart hammered against his ribs, a rhythm he'd known too well since childhood. Ethan's tempers, their father's echoes, the unspoken fractures in the Harlan family that no amount of therapy or craft beer could mend. He was 32, a graphic designer scraping by in a Capitol Hill walk-up, the kind of guy who sketched heartbreak into album covers for indie bands too broke to pay on time. Gay, unapologetic but weary of the labels, Kai had flown in from his solo life 2 days ago, suitcase light, expectations lighter. Ethan, his older brother by 5 years, was the golden boy, tech exec at a Fremont startup, charming smile that closed deals, and now, supposedly, ready to seal the deal with Vanessa, his fiancée of 3 years. Lila was her daughter from a previous marriage, 22 and fierce, a barista at a Ballard coffee shop with dreams of screenwriting bigger than her trust fund. But Kai had seen the cracks. Late-night calls from Lila, voice cracking over the line, his changing, "Kai. The way he looks at me. Like I'm in the way." He dismissed it as pre-wedding jitters, the Harlan men never good at feelings that didn't come bottled. Now, standing there in his rented suit, charcoal gray, sleeves rolled to hide the tattoo of a compass rose on his forearm, inked after coming out at 25, Kai felt the weight of every unsaid word. The officiant, a kindly woman named Reverend Hayes with silver-streaked hair, clutched her Bible like a shield, eyes darting between the altar and the aisle. Vanessa, in ivory silk that suddenly looked too bridal, clutched her bouquet of white peonies, knuckles white as bone. "Everyone, please," the Reverend murmured, but Kai was already moving, his polished loafer silent on the runner. Guests parted like fog, cousins from Spokane, Vanessa's yoga mom friends from Queen Anne, Ethan's venture capital bros nursing flasks under their jackets. Ethan's face twisted, that boyish grin gone feral, eyes narrowing on his brother as if Kai were the intruder. "What the hell are you doing?" Ethan hissed, voice low but laced with venom, the same tone he'd used at 16 when Kai accidentally outed himself by staring too long at the quarterback during a backyard barbecue. "Saving you from yourself," Kai shot back, stopping an arm's length from the altar. Up close, Lila looked smaller, her emerald gown pooling like spilled ink, hand pressed to her cheek where the print of Ethan's palm lingered like a brand. She met Kai's gaze, and in that shared look, brown eyes wide, pleading, something unbreakable passed between them. Uncle and stepniece by proxy, but blood in the ways that mattered, survivors of storms neither had chosen. The congregation murmured, phones slipping out like guilty secrets, but Kai ignored them. He turned to Ethan, voice steady despite the quake in his chest. "You don't hit family, F. Not ever. And you sure as hell don't do it on your wedding day." A gasp rippled, Vanessa's sister from Tacoma, probably, but Kai pressed on, the words spilling like rain off a gutter. "Lila's not your punching bag. She's not the villain in your midlife rewrite. Whatever this is, your stress from the merger, the house in Magnolia you're flipping to impress people who don't care, it's not her fault." Ethan's jaw clenched, veins bulging at his temple. "You don't know shit, Kai. Always the martyr, who? Playing hero because your life's a goddamn rom-com reject pile." The barb landed, sharp as ever, Ethan's way of reminding him of the exes who'd ghosted, the hookups that fizzled in the morning light of his too-small apartment. But Kai held ground, hazel eyes locking on his brother's blue ones, seeing the boy who'd once shared a treehouse with him, whispering dreams of escaping their dad's belt and mom's pill haze. "I know enough," Kai said softly, almost a whisper, but it carried. "I know you've been drinking again. I know Vanessa deserves better. And Lila." She's just a kid trying to hold this mess together. He glanced at Lila, who nodded faintly, tears drying into resolve. The Reverend cleared her throat, suggesting a recess, but Ethan laughed, a bitter, hollow sound that echoed off the rafters. Fine. Call it off. See if I care. He yanked at his tie, crimson blooming where it bit into his neck, and stormed down the aisle, shoulder clipping a groomsman who stumbled like a felled pine. Vanessa hesitated, bouquet wilting in her grip, then followed, heels clicking a retreat. The church exhaled, chaos uncoiling, aunts dabbing eyes, uncles muttering about refunds on the caterer. Kai sank to one knee beside Lila, arm around her shoulders as sobs finally broke free. I'm sorry, he murmured, inhaling the faint vanilla of her perfume. I should have seen it sooner. She leaned into him, small frame shaking. You did. You always do. Outside, the drizzle had thickened to rain, pattering against the leaded panes like impatient fingers. Kai helped her stand, guiding her toward a side door where the cool air waited, away from the stairs. But as they slipped into the vestry, a dim room cluttered with hymnals and forgotten candelabras, a figure lingered in the shadows. Jordan Ellis. Lila's best friend since community college, 24, with sun-kissed skin from summers in the San Juans and a mop of blonde curls that defied Seattle's humidity. He was the quiet type, a freelance photographer who captured weddings for strangers but dodged his own spotlight. Today, he'd been tasked with candids, camera slung around his neck like a talisman. Now, it hung forgotten as he stepped forward, handing Lila a tissue from his pocket. You okay? His voice was warm, like aged whiskey, blue eyes flicking to Kai with a mix of gratitude and curiosity. Yeah, Lila managed, dabbing her face. Thanks to this one. She nudged Kai, who straightened, suddenly aware of the rumple in his suit, the dampness at his temples. Jordan's gaze held, steady, assessing, not pity, but something sharper, like recognition. That was brave, Jordan said, extending a hand. I'm Jordan. Kai. Their palms met, calluses brushing, Jordan's from shutter clicks, Kai's from late-night sketches. A spark, faint as bioluminescence in Puget Sound, but there. Lila glanced between them, a ghost of a smile breaking through. You too. Plot my escape while I fix my makeup. As she vanished into the adjoining powder room, the vestry fell quiet, save for the rain's murmur. Jordan leaned against a credenza, arms crossed over a sage-green button-down that hugged his frame just right. Ethan's always been a storm cloud. Lila's told me stories. Kai nodded, throat tight. Family's a bitch like that. You get one set, flaws and all. He paused, studying Jordan, the easy stance, the faint scar above his lip from a skateboarding wipeout years back. You shoot a lot of these? Enough to know when one's cursed from the jump. Jordan's lips quirked, not quite a smile. Saw you in the pews earlier. Looked like you were carrying the weight of the world. Kai huffed a laugh, bitter-edged. Perceptive for a guy hiding behind a lens. But there was no sting, Jordan's eyes held no judgment, just a quiet pull, like the tide drawing in. Outside, tires crunched on wet gravel, Ethan's escape, probably, tires screeching toward the 99. Kai's phone buzzed, a text from Vanessa. We need to talk. Magnolia Bluff, 7 p.m. He pocketed it, the evening stretching like an unraveling thread. You heading out? Jordan asked, nodding toward the door. Now. Got a family apocalypse to navigate. Kai met his gaze, holding it a beat too long. You? Stuck till Lila says go. A pause, then softer, if you need backup. Photographers make good witnesses. The offer hung, simple, unforced. Kai felt the first crack in his armor, a warmth against the chill seeping from the stone walls. Deal. They slipped out together, rain sheeting down, umbrellas blooming like black mushrooms among the dispersing crowd. Seattle swallowed them, all fogged streets and ferry horns in the distance, but for Kai, the real storm was just beginning. In the hours that followed, the Harlan Reed wedding unraveled like a poorly knit sweater. Vanessa's sprawling Victorian in Magnolia overlooked the sound, its gabled roof dripping under the downpour, porch lights haloing the chaos. Kai arrived soaked, Jordan's borrowed jacket over his suit, the photographer had insisted, their paths crossing again in the parking lot like magnets misaligned. Keeps the pneumonia away, Jordan had quipped, but his eyes said more, lingering on the water beading Kai's lashes. Inside, the living room was a battlefield, Vanessa pacing in stockinged feet, wine glass trembling, Lila curled on the sectional, ice pack to her cheek, Ethan's absence a gaping wound, his duffel gone from the hall closet. Vanessa's voice cracked as she recounted the prelude, the rehearsal dinner where Ethan's barbs had sharpened, aimed at Lila's attitude over college deferrals. He's under pressure, she pleaded, but it rang hollow, even to her. Kai sat beside Lila, her hand in his, while Jordan hovered by the fireplace, snapping subtle shots only when Vanessa nodded permission, documentation, he called it, for the inevitable lawyers. This isn't pressure, Kai said finally, voice low thunder. This is him. The same guy who punched a hole in the wall when Dad died. The same guy who told me I'd burn in hell for loving who I love. The room stilled, Vanessa's eyes widened, Lila squeezed his fingers. Jordan's camera clicked once, soft as a sigh. Vanessa sank into an armchair, gown discarded for yoga pants and a cashmere sweater. I thought. Therapy. The couple's retreat in the Cascades. Her laugh was brittle. What a fool. You're not, Lila whispered, reaching across. Mother and daughter bridged the gap, hands clasping, the first mending in the fray. Kai watched, chest aching with a brother's guilt. He'd idolized Ethan once, defended him to social workers after their mom's overdose, buried the doubts under loyalty. Now, those doubts clawed free, raw, and unrelenting. Jordan cleared his throat, setting his camera aside. Mind if I grab coffee? There's a roastery down on 15th, good for clearing heads. It was an out, a kindness. Kai nodded, standing. I'll come. Lila? She waved them off, already deep in murmurs with Vanessa. Go. We've got this. The rain had eased to mist as they drove Jordan's battered Subaru through Magnolia's winding streets, past craftsman bungalows aglow with Halloween skeletons, early, but Seattle loved its eerie preludes. The roastery was a hole in the wall, exposed brick and hanging bulbs, baristas tattooed like Kai's own skin. They claimed a corner table, steam rising from mugs of Ethiopian pour-over, the bitterness mirroring Kai's thoughts. So, Jordan started, cradling his cup, you and Ethan. Rough history? Kai traced the mug's rim, steam fogging his reflection. He's the straight-A survivor. I'm the queer black sheep who moved to the city to find himself, cliché, right? He chuckled, but it died quick. Dad was a logger up in Whatcom, Mom waitressed. After she left us, Ethan stepped up. But it twisted him. Made him think control was love. Jordan nodded, curls catching the light. My folks split when I was 10. Dad's in Portland now, Mom's in a yurt off-grid. Taught me feelings aren't failures. His foot brushed Kai's under the table, accidental? No, deliberate, a test. Kai didn't pull away. Lila's lucky to have you as an uncle. Step-uncle, technically. Kai's gaze lifted, meeting blue depths that stirred something dormant, a flutter, like pages turning in an old sketchbook. And you? The friend who sticks around for the shit shows. Jordan grinned, scar dimpling. Photographer's curse. We see the beauty in the mess. He leaned in, voice dropping. Like you, standing up back there. Not many would. Heat crept up Kai's neck, not from the coffee. Had to. For her. For all of us. The conversation flowed then, easy as the doomish at low tide, Jordan's gigs shooting ferries at dawn, Kai's freelance gigs for queer zines, the shared ache of holidays alone. Outside, night deepened, street lamps pooling gold on wet pavement. By the time they looped back to Magnolia, Vanessa and Lila had fortified, wine uncorked, takeout from a faux spot steaming on the coffee table. He's not coming back tonight, Vanessa announced, eyes red-rimmed but steady. Lawyer tomorrow. Lila echoed it, cheek fading to pink, spirit unbroken. Kai crashed on the guest room futon, Jordan on the couch downstairs, proximity a quiet comfort. In the dark, Kai's mind replayed the slap, the stand, Jordan's hand in his. Sleep came fitful, dreams of altars crumbling into sound waves, a brother's face dissolving into another's smile. Dawn broke foggy over the Olympics, filtering through gauzy curtains. Kai woke to the clatter of pans, Vanessa in the kitchen, channeling grief into frittatas. Lila joined him on the porch, bundled in a hoodie, Olympic mountain smudged in the haze. "Thanks for yesterday," she said, sipping tea. "You saved me from... I don't know. A lifetime?" He pulled her close, chin on her head. "Family's what we fight for." Below, Jordan emerged, camera in hand, capturing the mist-shrouded view. Their eyes met over Lila's shoulder, promise, unspoken. The day unfolded in eddies, calls to the venue for refunds, texts from Ethan's colleagues feigning shock. Kai fielded his brother's voicemails, apologies slurred with rage, promises to fix it. He deleted them, block next. Jordan stuck around, driving Lila to her apartment in Fremont, Kai tagging along for the moral support. Her place was a studio crammed with scripts and succulents, posters of Thelma and Louise peeling at the edges. "Stay for lunch?" she asked, but it was Jordan she eyed, a matchmaking glint. They did, sandwiches on rye, laughter cutting the tension. Jordan regaled them with a botched elopement shoot in the San Juans, wind stealing vows and veils. Kai countered with a client meltdown over a rainbow logo too flamboyant. Touches multiplied, Jordan's knee against Kai's, fingers grazing over pickle jars. Lila vanished to nap, winking. Alone in the kitchen, suds bubbling in the sink, Jordan hip-checked Kai. "She's subtle as a freight train." Kai dried a plate, pulse quickening. "Yeah? And you?" "Me." Jordan turned, water dripping from his hands, inches away. "I think the universe just handed us a plot twist." His lips brushed Kai's, tentative, then sure, tasting of salt and possibility. Kai melted into it, hands fisting Jordan's shirt, the kiss deepening like a long exposure, blurring edges. They broke apart breathless, foreheads touching. "This okay?" Jordan whispered, thumb tracing Kai's jaw. "More than." Kai's voice roughened. "But Ethan's still out there. Storm's not over." Jordan nodded, pulling him close. "Then we weather it. Together." Afternoon waned into a walk along the ship canal, gulls wheeling overhead, barges lowing like metal beasts. Lila linked arms with them, the trio a makeshift flotilla against the tide. Back at Vanessa's, the house felt less tomb-like, candles lit, a playlist of Norah Jones humming low. But evening brought the reckoning, Ethan's knock, rain-slicked and sheepish, bouquet in hand like a truce flag. Vanessa let him in, steel in her spine. "Talk." He did, haltingly, eyes downcast. The merger stress, the relapses, the slap born of a lifetime's unhealed bruises. "I love you all," he choked, but Kai saw the lie in the averted gaze, the clench of fists. Lila stayed silent, Jordan's hand on her shoulder anchor. "You're out," Vanessa said finally, voice even. "Counseling. Alone. Or we're done." Ethan nodded, broken man not Groom, and left with a glance at Kai, pleading, lost. Night cloaked the bluff, stars pricking the overcast. Kai and Jordan slipped to the widow's walk, city lights twinkling distant. "You think he'll change?" Jordan asked, arm around Kai's waist. "Doubt it." Kai leaned in, breath mingling. "But we can." Their kiss under the drizzle was salt-stung, fervent, a vow in the wet dark. Below, the sound whispered secrets, carrying away the old currents. The weeks blurred into a Seattle autumn, leaves turning copper under relentless skies, the Harlan Reed fracture mending in jagged increments. Vanessa filed for a postponement, not cancellation, hope's stubborn weed, and threw herself into yoga instructor certification, her classes in a Belltown studio filling with women who'd heard whispers of her almost wedding. Lila dove into a script about fractured families, typing furiously in coffee shops where baristas slipped her free lattes, her cheeks bruise a fading map to resilience. Ethan vanished into mandatory rehab up in Snohomish, weekly check-ins via email, terse updates on AA meetings, apologies scripted like corporate memos. Kai read them in his Capitol Hill apartment, steam from his French press curling like unanswered questions, Jordan's texts lighting his screen like beacons. Jordan! The photographer had become fixture, mornings at Pike Place tossing coins into the markets wishing well, evenings framing Kai's sketches against his loft's brick walls in Ballard. Their rhythm was unhurried, a slow burn, shared runs along the Burke-Gilman Trail, where mist clung to evergreens and their breath synced like metronomes, lazy Sundays at the Fremont Sunday Market, haggling over vintage cameras and vegan tamales, Jordan's laugh pulling Kai from his brooding. Sex came natural, bodies mapping each other in the half-light of dawn, Jordan's curls splayed on pillows, Kai's tattoo a constellation under tracing fingers. But it was the quiet that bound them, Jordan listening as Kai unpacked the Harlan vault, the coming out at 23 that split their dad further, Ethan's support laced with sermons from online forums. "You're not broken," Jordan murmured one night, post-coital glow fading into vulnerability, Kai's head on his chest. The loft smelled of sage from a smudging kit Jordan swore by, windows fogged against the chill. "Ethan's the one chasing fixes. You? You're whole." Kai traced the scar on Jordan's lip, story spilling, a half-pipe crash at 14, stitches without anesthesia because boys don't cry. "Feels like we're both patched quilts," Kai said, voice thick. "Lila too." "Best kind," Jordan replied, kissing his temple. "Holds longer." But shadows lengthened. Ethan's discharge loomed, a parole hearing in human form. Vanessa invited him to Thanksgiving, tentative, her bluff house strung with lights like fragile wards. Kai bristled, fork scraping turkey in the pre-dinner kitchen huddle. "You sure? Here's a grenade with the pin half out." Vanessa's eyes, lined with new laugh lines, held firm. "Grief's a teacher, Kai. Lila wants him there. For closure." Lila, carving potatoes with surgical precision, nodded. "I wrote him into the script." "Villain who redeems? Or just learns to exit stage left?" "Need to see." Jordan, basting the bird, squeezed Kai's knee under the island, a silent breathe. The meal unfolded in layers, Ethan's arrival sober-suited, hugs stiff as starched collars, small talk over cranberry relish about Seahawks trades and Sounders upsets. Lila's playfulness emerged, teasing Ethan's new beard, hipster phase, dad. Drawing a rusty chuckle. But undercurrent swirled, Ethan's glances at Kai, loaded with brotherly debt, Vanessa's hand on his tentative bridge. Post-pie, as rain lashed the panes, Ethan pulled Kai onto the porch. Fog rolled off the water, ferry lights blinking like distant Morse. "I was wrong," Ethan started, voice gravel. "The slap. Everything. Rehab cracked me open. Saw dad in me. You were right to stop it." Kai leaned on the rail, arms crossed, the compass tattoo itching like a fresh wound. "Stopping was easy. Forgiving? That's the bitch." Wind tugged his hair, carrying brine and regret. "You hurt her, Ethos." Ethan nodded, face gaunt in the porch light. "I know. Trying to make it right. For Vanessa." "Lila? You?" A pause, heavy as lead. "Proud of you, little bro." The standing up. "And him." Nod to the window, where Jordan laughed with Lila over charades. Kai's throat tightened. "Pride, from Ethan? A foreign currency. Don't say it if you don't mean it." "Mean it." Ethan clapped his shoulder, grip firm but not crushing. "Love's love. Took me too long." They stood in silence, rain a curtain, the first thaw in frozen earth. Inside, Jordan caught Kai's eye through the glass, questioning, warm. Kai nodded, a small surrender. Winter gripped Seattle then, holidays a whirlwind of lights and longings. Kai and Jordan strung a tree in the loft, mismatched ornaments from thrift dives, tinsel tangled like veins. Christmas Eve found them at Vanessa's, fire crackling, Lila unveiling her script draft, alter echoes, a tale of slaps and stands, redemption sketched in pencil marks. Ethan read aloud, voice steady, tears unashamed. "This you?" he asked Lila, handing it back. "Us," she corrected. "All of us." New Year's brought revelry, countdown at the Space Needle, confetti swirling in chill air, Jordan's arms around Kai as fireworks bloomed over the sound. To plot twists, Jordan toasted later, champagne fizzing on their tongues in a cramped elevator home. But spring unearthed thorns. Ethan's firm laid him off, merger fallout, whispers of his instability. He spiraled quiet, missed calls, bar tabs hidden in browser history. Vanessa noticed first, confronting him over brunch at a Queen and Cafe, mimosas untouched. "We're not rebuilding on sand, Ethan." He swore sobriety, but doubt seeded. Kai, sketching logos for a queer youth center in his apartment, walls papered with Jordan's prints of them, windswept on Whidbey, tangled in sheets, felt the pull. "He's slipping," he confided to Jordan one dusk, sprawled on the fire escape, city hum below. Jordan's hand found his, steady. "You can't save him. But you can show him how." The crisis crested in May, lilacs heavy in the air. Lila called Kai at midnight, voice fractured, "He's gone." "Packed a bag." Said he's heading to Portland, start over. Vanessa's wails echoed in the background, a mother's dirge. Kai drove through rain-slicked streets, Jordan shotgun, silent sentinel. The Bluff house was a husk, Vanessa sedated by chamomile, Lila pacing like a caged fox. He left a note, Lila said, thrusting paper, scrawl admitting the relapse, the shame, a plea for space. Blames himself. Always does. Kai read it twice, anger coiling like smoke. Coward's exit. But beneath, pity stirred, for the boy Ethan had been, treehouse dreams drowned in adult floods. Jordan suggested a drive, chase the tail lights. No, too late. Instead, they bundled Vanessa into the Subaru, Lila shotgun, heading to Discovery Park, trails muddied, Cedars sentinel. Dawn broke salmon pink as they walked, words tumbling, Vanessa's fears of solo parenting anew, Lila's script revisions veering tragic. Kai spoke last, voice raw, "He'll come back. Or he won't. But we're not waiting on his ghost." Jordan's arm around him grounded, a tether. They emerged at the beach, waves gnashing pebbles, seals barking offshore. Lila hurled the note into the surf, paper dissolving like sins. Vanessa wept, then laughed, the manic, freeing. Kai pulled Jordan aside, behind a driftwood log, kissing him fierce against salt spray. "Love you," he gasped, first utterance, true as tide. "Love you back," Jordan breathed, hands framing Kai's face. "Always." Ethan surfaced 2 weeks later, voicemail from a Boise motel, voice wrecked, hit bottom. Again. Coming home. He did, gaunt and humbled, checking into outpatient in Everett. Vanessa met him halfway, the couple's therapy, boundaries etched in stone. Lila dictated terms, weekly coffees, no bullshit. Kai observed from afar, Jordan's loft a sanctuary, their love a quiet revolution, weekend getaways to the Olympics, hikes where wildflowers carpeted trails, nights where bodies and souls intertwined, vulnerabilities bared like exposed film. Summer solstice brought the redo, not wedding, but commitment ceremony in Vanessa's garden, peonies rampant, sound shimmering below. Ethan in linen, sober 6 months, Vanessa in sage, radiant. Lila officiated, amateur, heartfelt, vows exchanged under a willow arbor Jordan had framed just so. Kai stood best man, Jordan beside him, their fingers laced hidden. To second chances, Ethan toasted later, glasses clinking, eyes clear. As dusk fell, fireflies winking like errant stars, Kai and Jordan slipped to the bluff's edge. "Think they'll make it?" Jordan asked, head on Kai's shoulder. Kai smiled, compass steady. "If we can, they can." Their kiss sealed it, romance's arc, from slap to stand, betrayal to balm. Seattle breathed around them, alive with hidden graces, a city of rains and revelations. Yet Grace proved fragile, summer's heatwave cracking open old fissures. Ethan's sobriety held, but resentment simmered, job hunts fruitless, whispers at AA of queer favoritism in Kai's freelance circle twisting into barbs. One August evening, post-barbecue at the Bluff, ribs smoky, corn charred, Ethan cornered Kai by the grill, coals glowing like accusations. "You think you're better? Parading your boyfriend while I scrape bottom." Kai's beer paused mid-sip, Jordan mid-convo with Lila yards away. "Not parading. Living." Voice low, edged. "You chose your path, own it." Ethan's laugh barked, drawing glances. "Path? You got the easy out, city lights, pretty boys." "Me?" Holding the family line. The word line landed like a slap's echo, laced with their dad's ghost, Harlan men don't bend. Jordan appeared then, hand light on Kai's back. "Everything good?" Blue eyes wary, but calm. Ethan's gaze raked him, dismissive, then sharpening. "Yeah. Just brother talk." He clapped Kai's shoulder too hard, retreating to Vanessa, charm mask slipping on. Kai exhaled, tension coiling. "Old poison." Jordan's thumb circled his spine. "Antidotes us. Don't drink it." But the venom lingered. September brought Labor Day winds, Kai's commission for the youth center ballooning, murals of intertwined hands, rainbows subtle in Seattle grays. Jordan shot the install, his lens capturing Kai mid-stroke, paint-flecked and fierce. "My muse," he'd tease later, prints pinned above their bed, now their bed, Kai's lease surrendered for Jordan's loft, suitcases unpacked like roots taking hold. Lila's script sold, to a small indie house in Silver Lake, optioned for a short. Celebrations at a Capitol Hill dive, shots of mezcal, toasts to altar survivors. Ethan joined, tentative, buying rounds with his first severance check. But mid-toast, slurring faintly, to Kai, the family savior, the room tilted. Vanessa pulled him aside, return to rehab ultimatum whispered. He stormed out, door slamming like judgment. Kai followed into the alley, neon buzzing overhead, dumpsters reeking of last night's regrets. Stop. This isn't you. Isn't me. Ethan whirled, breath sour. You don't know me. Never did. Hiding behind your artsy bullshit, sucking up to mom's pity. The slur twisted, queer unspoken but implied, a Harlan heirloom. Kai's fists clenched, but he breathed Jordan's lesson, don't engage the storm. Get help. For real this time. He turned, but Ethan's hand yanked his arm, bruising grip. Or what? You'll stand up again? Hero complex much. Spittle flecked Kai's cheek, rage unmasked. Jordan materialized, wrenching Ethan's hold free. Back off. Voice steel, body coiled, skateboard scars no match for Protector's fire. Ethan sneered, swaying. Protecting your little fairy tale. He shoved Jordan, stumbling into crates that crashed like thunder. Kai surged, pinning his brother against brick. Enough. Raw born of decades, defended punches, buried truths. You're the one breaking us. Not me. Ethan deflated, sliding down the wall, sobs racking. I hate it. The emptiness. You found light. How? Kai knelt, anger ebbing to ache. One step. Then another. With people who see you. He glanced at Jordan, silhouetted strong. Let us help. Sirens wailed distant, neighbors call, but Ethan nodded, broken open. Vanessa arrived, cab idling, bundling him home. Therapy. Inpatient. Now. No negotiation. The fallout rippled, Lila's elation soured to worry, script revisions darker, Vanessa's resolve hardened, filing separation papers by equinox. Kai and Jordan retreated to the Olympics, cabin rental off Highway 101, pines whispering absolution. Days blurred, hikes to Solduck Falls, mist-veiling ferns, hands clasped over mossy logs, nights by the hearth, Jordan's guitar strumming folk covers, Kai sketching flames into their faces. One twilight, Lake Mirror calm, Jordan proposed, not ring, but words, build this permanent. You, me, the mess. Kai's heart swelled, tears pricking. Yes. All in. They made love on the dock, stars wheeling overhead, bodies a testament to survival's grace. Return brought harvest, Ethan's impatient stint in Bellingham, letters handwritten, raw admissions of homophobia's roots in their dad's bigotry, vows to unearth it. Lila visited, emerging lighter, script balanced on hope. Vanessa dated, a botanist from the Arboretum, gentle as moss, testing waters without drowning. Halloween crept, pumpkins grinning on stoops. Kai and Jordan hosted, costumes ironic, Kai as a compass-wielding explorer, Jordan the lens-eyed cartographer. Lila arrived as a screenwriter siren, Vanessa trailing, arm-linked with her new flame. Ethan texted, miss the chaos. Sober. Home soon? Kai replied, doors open. Work for it. November rains returned, relentless as renewal. Ethan's release coincided with Thanksgiving redux, smaller circle, Bluff house warmed by cinnamon and candor. He arrived leaner, eyes clear, hugging Kai first, fierce, unforced. Proud, he said again, meaning it. Over pie, stories flowed, Jordan San Juan shoots, Kai's mural unveil, youths tracing rainbows, claiming space. Lila announced a table read, Ethan nodding approval. Vanessa watched her ex, soft edges returning. Post-feast, Kai and Jordan washed dishes, suds flying like snow. Think we're past the slap. Jordan murmured, hip bumping. Kai dried a glass, smiling. Slapped into shape, maybe. Their kiss tasted of apple, promise. Winter solstice lit the shortest day, ceremony at Golden Gardens, bonfire crackling against dusk, sound lapping solemn. Not vows, but intentions, Kai and Jordan, hands bound with sailor's knot, words woven, through storms, to light. Lila filmed it, script heart beating true. Ethan stood witness, Vanessa beside, circle complete. Snow flurried rare, blanketing sand, fresh page. As midnight told, Kai pulled Jordan close, flakes melting on lashes. Our altar, he whispered. Jordan's grin lit the dark. No slaps. Just us. Seattle slumbered, evergreens bowed under white, a city reborn in quiet wonders. Spring's thaw mirrored the Harlan thaw, cherry blossoms unfurling pink along University Avenue, a fragile poetry against concrete. Ethan's outpatient grind in Everett yielded ground, part-time consulting for a non-profit, sustainable tech for rural co-ops, his ledger books replaced by impact reports. He and Vanessa danced a cautious tango, coffee dates in Fremont, no overnights, her botanist beau a patient shadow. Lila's short film premiered at a microfest in the Rendezvous, alter echoes earning murmurs and a microgrant, her barista shifts traded for assistant gigs on a Seattle web series. For Kai and Jordan, the loft bloomed domestic, shelves of shared reads, Walt Whitman beside Annie Proulx, morning rituals of pour-overs and portfolio reviews. Kai's freelance swelled, murals commissioned for a pride float, his compass tattoo inked larger, arrow pointing true. Jordan's lens captured it all, Kai asleep in sunbeams, curls wild, their first joint exhibit at a Pioneer Square gallery, prints of intimate exposures, bodies blurred, emotions sharp. But betrayal's ghost stirred in June, solstice sun high and unforgiving. Ethan's sponsor tipped Vanessa, at slip, not drink, but dalliance, a bar pickup in Everett, loneliness cracking resolve. She confronted him over garden lunch, tomatoes bursting red as wounds, voice steady but shattering. Trust's not elastic, Ethan. It snaps. He confessed, shame carving lines deeper, one night. Stupid. Scared of failing you again. No excuses, just wreckage. Word reached Kai via Lila's frantic call, mid-mural stroke in a Sodu warehouse. Paint dripped from his brush, azure tears. He's blown it, she sobbed. Mom's done. For real. Jordan found him later, ladder abandoned, staring at walls half-born. Come down, he coaxed, arms open. Kai descended, crumbling into him, sobs muffled in curls. Why can't he stop breaking us? Jordan held tight, loft-bound driver blur of rain-lashed wipers. Because he's human. Flawed as fuck. But you're not him. Nights blurred, Kai pacing the loft, sketches frantic, altars aflame, brothers fractured. Jordan anchored, cooking pad Thai from his mom's recipe, forcing walks along the locks where salmon leaped stubborn upstream. Heal your way, he urged. Not his. Crisis peaked at Lila's urging, family summit at the Bluff, July heat thick as unresolved grief. Vanessa in linen shift, resolute, Ethan in khakis, eyes downcast, Lila notebook clutching, mediator born. Kai arrived last, Jordan's hand in his a talisman. Words erupted, Vanessa's pain raw, you swore fidelity, post-slap, post-rehab, Ethan's apologies guttural, I sabotage joy. Always have. Lila probed, what now? Scripts open-ended. Kai spoke last, voice honed, betrayal's a slap, F. Yours to us all. But staying means surgery, cut the rot. He glanced at Jordan, love's proof. I've learned that. From him. Ethan met his gaze, tears tracking. Teach me? Not me. You. Kai extended hand, bridge, not crutch. Ethan clasped it, grip desperate. Vanessa exhaled, decision crystallizing. Separation. 6 months. Solo work. To Lila, your call on him. Lila paused, pen tapping. Coffee weekly. Earn the rest. Dispersal left Kai hollowed, drive home with Jordan silent save for radio's indie croon. At the loft, they collapsed on the rug, city lights winking conspiracy. Proud of you, Jordan whispered, fingers threading hair. Standing again. Kai turned, lips seeking. Only because you're there. Lovemaking slow, reverent, bodies reclaiming agency, moans mingling with distant horns. August's fairs dotted calendars, folklife in the square, Kai manning a booth with youth centre teas, Jordan shooting candids of fiddlers and falafel lines. Ethan appeared unannounced, coffee in hand, black, no sugar. Heard about the murals. Congrats. Awkward, but present. Kai nodded, wary thaw. Thanks. You? Volunteering. Co-op builds in Skagit. A beat. Miss the Bluff dinners. Work for invites. No softness, but door ajar. Fall-colored leaves amber, equinox wind stripping branches bare. Lila's series gig expanded, writing room in a converted warehouse, her voice amplifying queer narratives. Vanessa's botanist deepened, greenhouse dates, hand soil-stained. Ethan's solo apartment in Wallingford, Spartan, AA chip on the mantle, became confessional, weekly calls to Kai, dissecting patterns without pleading. Jordan proposed formally then, October fog rolling in, knee dropped on the fire escape, ring simple, silver band etched with coordinates of their first kiss. Navigate with me. Blue eyes earnest, curls damp. Kai's yes choked out, tears salt on Jordan's lips as they kissed, city sprawling below like a map redrawn. November rains lashed, Thanksgiving intimate, loft table groaning, turkey from a Wallingford market, pies from Lila's oven. Ethan invited, arriving with cranberry relish, homemade, tentative offering. Conversation skirted minds, jobs, Jordan's exhibit sales, Ethan's co-op tales. Lila teased scripts, Vanessa shared bulb plantings. Post-meal, dishes stacked, Ethan pulled Kai aside. Seeing someone. Casual, but probing. Kai smiled, Jordan's ring glinting. Yeah. For keeps. Ethan nodded, envy fleeting. Good. Deserve it. Handshake lingered, brothers, mending. Winter gripped, solstice bonfire at Golden Gardens Redux, circle wider, intentions voiced. Kai and Jordan center, rings exchanged anew, vows etched, through betrayals, to truth. Ethan spoke last, to standing. For others. Myself. Vanessa nodded approval, Lila filming, circle flames leaping high. Snow-dusted rare, blanketing footprints. Kai leaned into Jordan, heart full. Our story, he murmured. Jordan's arm tightened. Endless chapters. Seattle exhaled winter's breath, evergreen sentinel, graces unearthed in frost-kissed earth. Yet chapters twisted, winter's chill birthing unforeseen blooms. January's grey lifted for a rare sunbreak, Kai and Jordan's engagement photos, Jordan behind lens, ironic poetry, scattered across the locks, gulls wheeling, fish ladders humming ascent. Ethan's co-op project flourished, solar installs for off-grid cabins in the Olympics, his hands calloused anew, pride sober-earned. Vanessa's romance rooted, botanist proposing over greenhouse orchids, wedding whispers for spring. Lila's series greenlit a pilot, her writing room buzzing with queer scribes, alter echoes option ballooning to feature. But crisis shadowed Valentine's, Ethan's sponsor flagged a wobble, not relapse, but resentment's creep, triggered by Kai's engagement news in group share. Felt like salt in wounds, he confessed over emergency coffee at a Magnolia roastery, steam veiling shame. You thriving? Highlights my ruins. Kai stirred his Americano, ring-catching light. Thrives not zero-sum, F. Your ruins? Build from them. Jordan's text buzzed, lunch, the reminder, love's net, not chain. Ethan nodded, jaw tight. Trying. Therapy's digging deep, dad's belt marks on my soul. Vulnerability raw, a brother's gift. February's rains persisted, but so did progress, joint family therapy in a Fremont office, circle chairs creaking under truths. Vanessa aired separation's ache, Lila scripted boundaries, Ethan owned dalliance's echo. Kai voiced the slap scar, broke trust's bone, Jordan silent support, hand on knee. Sessions unearthed, Ethan's homophobia, fear-masked love, Kai's enabling, loyalty's trap. Vanessa mediated, heal parallel. Intersect when ready. March bloom tentative, daffodils nodding in planters, Kai's mural tour, youth centers from Tacoma to Bellingham, Jordan chronicling. Ethan's invite to a co-op groundbreaking, rural hall wired green, Kai accepted, Jordan tagging. Drive north, evergreens flanking, Ethan pointing deer trails, voice lighter. Site buzzed, locals hammering, kids chasing chickens. This, Ethan said, handing Kai a hammer, grounds me. Kai nailed beams, sweat mingling, Jordan snapping frames. Lunch picnic, subs on tailgate, stories flowed, Ethan's boyhood forts, Kai's sketchpads hidden. Missed this, Ethan admitted. Brother shit. Me too. Hammer paused, bridge beam. April's cherry petals stormed streets pink, wedding fever Vanessa's, garden affair, lilacs rampant. Lila maid of honor, scripting vows, Ethan usher, suit rented crisp. Kai best man to the botanist, gentle giant named Theo, a Jordan groomsman, curls tamed. Rehearsal dinner at the Bluff, toasts warm, Ethan sober sparkle genuine. To seconds, he raised, eyes on Vanessa, then Kai. And the stands that make them. Night's end, Kai and Jordan walked the beach, waves lapping secrets. Family's fractal, Kai mused, sand cool underfoot. Broken, but beautiful. Jordan's kiss salt tanged. Yours is blooming. May ceremony unfolded petal soft, Vanessa in lace, Theo beaming, willow arbor Jordan framed. Vows exchanged, through soils and storms, ring silver as vows. Lila's speech, roots entwine, even after uprootings. Laughter, tears, cake lilac frosted. Reception danced, swing tunes under strings, Ethan twirling Lila, ungraceful but joyous. Kai and Jordan slow-burned a corner, bodies syncopated. Our turn soon. Jordan whispered. Kai's yes hummed against neck. But June solstice scorched old embers. Ethan's co-op landed a grant, headline in The Stranger, but success stirred ghosts, a sponsor's warning of euphoria highs masking cracks. He confided in therapy, but skipped a session for a work trip, Portland networking, innocent till Vanessa's botanist friend spotted him at a brewpub, ginger ale swapped for IPA. Confrontation erupted July 4th, bluff barbecue popping with fireworks doubt. Vanessa cornered him post-spa Claire's, ale or not, it's the lie. Ethan crumbled, one sip. Panic's edge. Sob's garden echoed. Lila called Kai, voice steel, summit again. Now. Gathering sweltered, Ethan prostrate, Vanessa iron, Lila directing. Kai arrived, Jordan's calm ballast. Rock bottom's a revisit. Kai pressed, hurt flaring. Ethan's eyes pleaded. Slipped. Not fallen. Help me stand. Jordan spoke rare, stands require legs. Build yours. Wisdom quiet, cutting. Vanessa decreed, indefinite. Focus inward. To group, we're mosaic. Pieces shift. August cooled fevers, Ethan's renewed impatient, voluntary, fierce, letters poetic, forging from forge. Lila's pilot shot test footage, her arc central. Kai and Jordan planned theirs, courthouse simple, Olympic honeymoon. September's equinox gilded leaves, therapy circle tighter. Ethan emerged tempered, co-op helm full-time. Family dinner bluff-bound, stories layered, laughs genuine. Betrayal's teacher, Vanessa toasted. Gratitude's lesson. October's fog wreathed the city, Kai and Jordan's ceremony courthouse crisp, rings exchanged in oak-paneled room, witnesses Lila and Ethan, brothers nod profound. Proud, Ethan murmured, hug bone deep. Reception loft intimate, fairy lights, playlist queer anthems, toasts cascading. Lila's, from slaps to sacraments. Vanessa's, loves the stand. November rains drummed, Thanksgiving harvestful, table groaning, Ethan's carving steady. Post-pie, porch huddle, Ethan to Kai, your wedding. Inspired. Seeing you whole. Kai clasped shoulder. Yours next. When ready. Winter solstice circled back, golden gardens blaze, intentions renewed. Kai and Jordan center, Ethan voicing, to brothers. Stands eternal. Flames leaped, snow whispering. Seattle cradled them, grace is in every glint. Spring's renewal cycled true, April showers greening the sound's rim, Vanessa and Theo's union a year strong, greenhouse expansions, adopted pup named Willow. Lila's pilot buzzed casting calls, her character a Lila light earning arc expansions, queer threads woven bold. Ethan's co-op scaled, satellite sites in Whatcom, his testimonials raw fuel for grants. Kai's murals mapped the coast, pride installations from Astoria to Victoria, Jordan's coffee table book exposures intimate selling at Elliott Bay, their faces abstract but achingly known. Yet summer's heat-tested alloys. June solstice brought Ethan's promotion, exec director, but board whispers of his past volatility ignited doubt. A donor dinner in Bellevue, Ethan tempted by open bar, handshaking on stemware. He texted Kai pre-descent, edge. Talk? Loft call at midnight, Jordan brewing chamomile. Breathe, Kai coached. One choice. You're more than slip. Ethan's exhale ragged. Fear winning again. Wins don't. You do. Jordan added, call your sponsor. Now. Dawn found Ethan steady, donor secured sober. Gratitude call, you too. Anchors. July's fares pulsed, seafare hydroplanes roaring, Kai and Jordan VIP from a mural sponsor, hands linked amid crowds. Lila crashed, script pages fluttering. Ethan joined post-race, beers root for all. But August's dog days dug claws, a co-op audit flagged irregularities, Eth's old firm ties, innocuous but shadowed by relapse rumors. Board hearing loomed, stress coiling. He spiraled quiet, missed therapy, isolation creeping. Lila spotted first, coffee run, his eyes hollow. Uncle Kai, text urgent. Summit convened, bluff patio, sunset bleeding orange. Ethan confessed, sabotage reflex. Audit's clean, but paranoia. Dad's voice, you'll fuck it. Vanessa, post-yoga glow, voices lie. Yours doesn't have to. Kai leaned in, we see you. Flawed, fierce. Fight the echo. Jordan, document it. Lens on truth. Lila scripted intervention, daily check-ins, board prep as family. Ethan nodded, tears carving. Grateful. For Stans. September's harvest steadied, audit cleared, board apology emailed. Ethan's resolve armored, keynote at a sustainability summit, voice resonant. Post-talk, Kai hugged him stage-side, knew you had it. October's chill nipped, wedding anniversary for Kai and Jordan, Olympic cabin redux, falls thundering absolution. Lovemaking lakeside, stars witnesses. Eternal, Jordan vowed, ring-twinned. November's rains blessed, Thanksgiving evolved, co-op volunteers joined, table sprawling. Ethan's carving speech, from fractures to feast. Winter's grip softened, solstice fire eternal. But crisis-crested December, Ethan's ex-donor resurfaced, anonymous tip to board, unstable history. Hearing emergency, Ethan's poise cracked, panic attack mid-meet, paramedics called. Hospital wait, family huddle, Vanessa holding, Lila pacing, Kai Jordan braced. He'll rise, Kai affirmed. Ethan emerged, monitors beeping benediction, embarrassed. But unbroken. Board reconvened January, his transparency triumph, past's mine. Future's ours. Retained, stronger. Spring 2027 Bloom triumphant, Lila's pilot premiered, Emmy's buzz, her speech, to slap survived. Vanessa's nursery thrived, Theo's ring eternal. Ethan's co-op network national, his book pitch wired roots. Kai and Jordan's adoption papers filed, foster kid named Riley, 10, eyes wide as horizons. First family picnic, bluff grass, kite soaring. Ethan tossed ball to Riley, laugh booming. Summer's ours, Kai said, Jordan's head on shoulder, Lila scripting beside, Vanessa pruning roses. Ethan toasted kites, to flights. From altars to skies. Seattle shimmered, graces boundless. Yet boundless invited tempests, summer's idle fracturing under unforeseen gales. July's heat dome baked the sound dry, wildfires smudging horizons, mirroring Ethan's co-op crisis, funding drought, a key partner pulling amid restructuring. Stress etched him gaunt, sleepless, sponsor calls frantic. Kai caught it beachside, post-Riley's swim lesson, Ethan's gaze distant, hands tremor faint. Talk, Kai urged, towels damp. Ethan deflated on driftwood, drowning. Again. Partners bailing, my history's curse. Jordan, packing cooler, joined history's weight. Share the load. Call chain ignited, Lila brainstorming grants, Vanessa offering nursery contacts, Riley drawing super co-op comics. Therapy amped, Ethan's journal entries shared, raw verses of doubt to dawn. August's fairs faltered, Seafair cancelled smoke-choked, Kai's mural unveil virtual, Jordan streaming, Riley co-hosting Kid Energy. Ethan's pitch to a Seattle foundation, voice cracking but compelling, roots weather fires. Grant landed partial, lifeline. Relief party bluff mini, S'mores, Ethan's hug to Kai bone deep. Couldn't solo this. September's equinox cooled, Lila's Emmy NOM, pilot renewal, her red carpet gowned, Ethan escort proud. My girl slaying, he beamed post-show. But October's winds howled betrayals encore, anonymous email to co-op board, Eth's rehab records leaked, HIPAA breach venomous. Probe launched, Ethan suspended pending review. Summit stormed, bluff library, documents strewn. Sabotage, Vanessa seethed. Old ghosts. Lila traced IP, ex-firm rival. Petty. Kai's rage boiled, fight dirty back. Ethan, ashen, no. Truth's my blade. Presser drafted, history owned, resilience proved. Jordan film testimonial, Ethan's gaze steady, slips shaped strength. November's rains absolved, board reinstated, leaker exposed, lawsuit brewing. Ethan's keynote at a resilience forum, standing ovation, tears unashamed. Thanksgiving swelled, volunteers, Riley's pie masterpiece. Toasts to fires forged. Winter's solstice warmed, Riley's adoption final, courthouse joy, family photos, Jordan's gift. Cabin holiday, fall's frozen frills, stories around hearth. But crisis shadowed New Year's, Ethan's sponsor retired, void aching. Anchor lost, he confessed NY loft party, confetti falling. Kai pulled him to balcony, new anchors. Us. Jordan joined, trio overlooking fireworks, collective strength. January's the birthed Ethan's mentor search, group elder, ex-addict exec. Sessions virtual, bonds budding. Spring 2028 greened, Lila's feature greenlit, directing debut. Vanessa's nursery expanded, Theo's sabbatical shared. Kai's mural series toured galleries, Jordan's book sequel exposures eternal. Ethan's co-op stabilized, satellite blooming. Riley's school play, Kai stage dad, Ethan sound booth, Jordan lighting. Post curtain, hugs heap, family's the real show. Summer's solstice circled complete, bluff reunion, kites multiple, Riley's soaring highest. Lila scripted finale, from slap to sky. Ethan raised glass, to stands. Infinite. Kai, Jordan entwined, Riley giggling, Seattle's graces, eternal arc. Yet arcs curved, autumn's palette deepening doubts. September's equinox brought Lila's directorial crunch, feature shoot in the Cascades, cast queer ensemble, her vision fierce. Ethan's co-op hosted a summit, national eyes, pressure mounting. Kai juggled Riley's soccer, mural deadlines, Jordan's exhibit in NYC, week-long absence. October's fog thickened personal, Ethan's mentor flagged isolation creep, skipped sessions, late nights pouring ledgers. Overcompensating, he admitted bluff coffee, leaves crunching. Balance, Kai counseled. You're not Atlas. November's rains tested, Lila's rap party, Ethan's no-show, stuck in Grant calls. Her hurt text, missed it. Again. Summit gentle, priorities, Vanessa urged. Ethan vowed recalibration, delegate, date nights with a co-op admin, sparks tentative. Thanksgiving anchored, Riley's gratitude list read, Uncle Eth's stories. Laughter healed. Winter's grip eased, solstice fire Riley attended. But January's chill birthed health scare, Ethan's checkup, elevated liver from old damages, monitoring mandated. Hospital huddle, fears familiar slap. Early, doc soothed. Lifestyle lock-in. Ethan's resolve, no more gambles. Spring's renewal vigilant, co-op wellness initiative, Ethan's face campaign. Lila's Edit Bay marathons, Kai coaching Riley's lines for a youth play. Summer 2029 bloomed vigilant, feature premiere at Sundance, acclaim, distribution deal. Bluff screening, tears, toasts. Ethan scans clear, celebration hike, Sol Duke, Falls roaring renewal. Solstice picnic, kites, scripts, sketches. Full circle, Jordan murmured, Kai's hand in his. Endless, Kai echoed, Riley chasing wind, Lila directing breeze, Vanessa pruning dreams, Ethan grounding earth. Seattle's graces, woven eternal, slaps echo, love symphony. The symphony swelled into 2030's dawn, Seattle's skyline etched sharper against climate's whims, drier summers, wetter winters, but the Harlan's reed zealous is adapted, roots deep in shared soil. Lila's feature, echoes unbound, swept indies, best debut, screenplay nods, her directorial perch secured on a Netflix queer anthology. She bought a Fremont bungalow, script stacking like cordwood, Riley babysitting for aunt credits. Vanessa and Theo's nursery franchised, pop-ups in Portland, eco-villages thriving, their pup Willow a mascot, Ethan's co-op sourcing saplings. Ethan's health vigilant, annuals pristine, mentorship blooming into podcast, rooted resilience, episodes raw, listeners legion. A quiet courtship with the admin, nights at Ethiopian spots, hands tentative over injurer, whispers of future. Kai and Jordan's family expanded, Riley's little brother fostered in, Mateo, 5, curls like Jordan's, eyes Kai's hazel. Loft traded for a queen and craftsman, backyard for murals, darkroom nook. Kai's gallery rep buzzed, solo show Compass Lives, Jordan co-curating, sales funding college funds. Yet autumn's Equinox 2030 unearthed crisis final, Ethan's podcast guest, old firm ex-boss, grudge held, ambushed on air, dredging rehab leaks, slap scandal twisted to instability unfit. Clips viral, co-op donors wavered, board panic call midnight. Ethan's collapse, bluff study, bottle half drained, scotch, forbidden. Vanessa found him, call chain lightning, Kai racing rain slicked, Jordan trailing with Riley Mateo asleep. Kitchen tableau, Ethan slumped, Vanessa steely, Lila en route. Hit rock, he rasped. Again. Kai knelt, no judgment, rocks build bridges. Climb. Jordan brewed tea, kids blanket fought distant sanctuary. Lila burst in, laptop open, clips countered. Fan army rallying, root Ethan. Summit dawnlit, truth's bared, grudge poison, Ethan's trigger. Self-sabotage endgame. Vanessa pressed. No, Ethan vowed, tears purging. Surrender to help. Inpatient redux, self-committed, letters lyrical, from altar slap to soul stand. Board weathered storm, donors double down, resilience real. November's harvest healed, Thanksgiving epic, co-op kin, Riley's turkey carve, Mateo's pie smash. Ethan's toast, betrayals birthed us. Gratitude binds. Winter's solstice crowned, golden gardens inferno, family vast, intentions voiced, Riley's family forever, Mateo's echo. Spring 2031 greened legacies, Lila's anthology episode Bound, Ethan's podcast TEDx slot, Kai's show Mo Bound, Jordan's doc stands festival premiering. Ethan's courtship flowered, engagement quiet, bluff garden, Vanessa's lilacs witness. Wedding summer planned, Kai best, Jordan ringside. Crisis's coda June, old boss sued, defamation, Ethan's testimony poised. But Grace intervened, mediation, apology public, ex-boss's own shadows aired, hands shaken. Solstice wedding, Willow Arbor redux, Ethan vows through ruins to roots, bride smile sunlit. Reception danced, Lila DJing, Riley Mateo flower boys, Kai Jordan slow dancing vows renewed. Autumn's palette gilded, family retreat cascades, cabin tales, fall's thundering triumph. Winter's hush profound, solstice fire, circle eternal. Ethan to Kai, your stand saved. Kai, Jordan's hand warm, ours. Always. Seattle slumbered, grace is infinite, from slap's thunder to love's quiet roar. In the hush of that final solstice, Kai reflected, life's altar not stone, but sea, waves crashing, reshaping. Betrayal's tides receded, leaving sands of healing, love's etched deep. Riley and Mateo dreamed nearby, futures unwritten, Lila scripted horizons, Vanessa and Theo pruned possibilities, Ethan's bride wove new roots. Jordan's whisper sealed, our end? Just beginning. Kai's kiss affirmed, human, whole.